Rips it off from MacKinnon. Into the circle. MacKinnon down low. The shot. He scores! Nathan MacKinnon blocks the line. Still with it, Makar. Still with it with a shot. He scores! Oh my goodness gracious! So Avalanche with a goal, and they follow up with the big boys. And here's Landeskog breaking in, scores! A beauty for Gabe Landeskog. Foresight shot. What a save by Francouz! Keko down low. Save by Francouz!
We realize how big of an event this is. Excited to play this game.
6 goals in 8 minutes. New Avalanche record. Second fastest in the National Hockey League since 05-06. Trying to get through. The shot. He scores! The Avs have won.
And we welcome in Keith Jones and Kelly Hrudey to talk about a team that many think has an opportunity as best as ever to win another Stanley Cup. That's the Colorado Avalanche. And Kelly, this is a really fun team to watch. They were really starting to pick things up when hit their stride around the All-Star break. What are your thoughts on Colorado's chances to make a significant run at this Stanley Cup?
I like their team for a lot of reasons. You know, you look at your back end, and Makar is just such a phenomenal young player to watch and mesmerizing. You can't take your eyes off him for all the things that he does offensively. Of course, their top line is magical, and I'm not going to get into a lot about them because we know how great they are. But a couple of guys that I want to talk about and their importance in the playoffs, and it's going to be Kadri. I think he's going to be such a key member. And what we love about him is the way he plays the game. He's a passionate player. Now, he just can't cross the line like he did the last 2 playoffs with Toronto, but I expect that he's learned from those lessons. And Namestnikov, here's a guy that, to me, I think that, interestingly enough, he's going to really add to this team because they needed that depth, and in particular on the penalty kill, where they struggled for most of the season until they picked him up. And then I think in his games, they killed off 25 of the 27 power plays against them. So I really believe that depth is going to be important for Colorado, and this is going to be a really fun team to watch because they play the game the right way.
And their stars, Kelly, are as good as any in the game. They have what I consider the second best line in the National Hockey League, but on any given night, they could be the best. I give the edge to the Bruins with Bergeron just from experience. But this Avalanche line, when healthy, and it hasn't been healthy for much of the season, when all 3 guys are healthy, with Mikko Rantanen doing his magical work with his size and strength and the way that he protects the puck, McKinnon's explosiveness and his instincts offensively, there's a big challenge there. And the size of Landeskog and his compete level and his leadership, that's one heck of a line. They're going to be a fun team to watch in these playoffs. The team continues to mature. And part of that maturing is the additions of players that you just talked about, adding to the mix, having enough size and grit. Kadri certainly provides attitude as well, which I think is extremely important this time of the year. And Zadorov's size. I don't think we can overlook the importance of Zadorov and his physical play on the back end. This guy's mean. This guy wants to knock you down, and he wants you to be slow to get back up. And I appreciate that style of play on the back end. So there's a lot there on that Avalanche team. Erik Johnson, underrated in everything he brings to the table. It's going to be a big challenge for anybody who has to match up against the Avalanche.
Jonesy, it's interesting you mentioned that size. I mean, I saw it up close and personal at ice level at the Air Force Academy when the Colorado Avalanche played the LA Kings in that outdoor game. It was incredible to see the size of the Colorado Avs, just a big, strong, heavy team. But Kelly, I want to go back to what you're talking about with Cale Makar, because I was thoroughly impressed watching him up close and personal and seeing exactly the way he goes about his business, but also what he does on the ice. And many are putting him right up there with the John Carlsons as the best defenseman in the NHL. Where would you rank him as far as Western Conference defensemen, because this is who the opposing teams are going to be keeping an eye out for?
Oh boy, well, he plays such a different game than a lot of other defensemen out there. I rank him right near the top, and even though he's one of the younger guys on the team, the way that he thinks the game and he uses that skill offensively and creates things, he makes everybody else way more dangerous than they already are. Guys like MacKinnon with that great speed, he knows when to get him the puck to allow McKinnon to use that speed and the other players as well. I just think the game of hockey is in such a good place now, not only because of the skill level of the players coming out, but the coaches allow them to play their game. It used to be when Keith and I were playing, and if you're a young, skilled player, they sort of tried to mellow that. They didn't want you to try and be so creative. And in today's game, man, if you've got the skill, it's go and create, and let's have some fun watching it.